thank you for bringing your two sons out here from El Paso, and we've been doing a little hog hunting the last couple days. And you were telling me a story of you getting shot with a 30-06 at point blank range.
Exactly.
So tell me about that story.
Well, basically we're in Colorado hunting. We're at a private lodge, and there's a couple of guests that I didn't know. And he was finished his morning hunt, and I went out there to talk to him, to ask him if he saw anything or killed anything. And while I'm talking to him, he said no, he hadn't seen anything, he didn't kill anything. About that time I was walking off, and at this moment he was unloading his firearm before he got into the cabin. And apparently he dropped a bullet while he's unloading it, and he still had another one in the chamber. And when he went down, the front end of the gun, he says, because of course I was walking away already, went to fall down, and he kicked it up with his leg, and apparently had his finger on the trigger, and it discharged. And when I'm walking away, about 5 feet away, it went through my arm.
Now,
It hit from the backside.
So the bullet, this is a scar right here,
If y'all are hungry.
and it went through your muscle, and it looks like, did it miss your bone?
It missed the bone by 1 centimeter. And the bullet came apart too. It was a 200 grain nodular partition.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it hit my vehicle and the bullet splattered, different bullet holes,
And I can't imagine getting hit with a 30-06. Did you hit the ground?
It floored me. Just like when you hit an animal, where
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you hit it, it knocks you down in an instant. And of course, I grabbed my arm, and I'm bleeding. I have heavy clothing on, but it's still bleeding through the clothing and through my fingers. And I'm on the ground, asking him what was he doing. Kind of angry at this point. It hurt a little bit, of course, because it hit a nerve bundle. So it frayed it, but it didn't completely.
So have you had feeling loss in your arm?
Just a little bit, not too bad.
And this was 20 years ago?
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
So how old were you then?
20 years ago.
I'm gonna make you
Putting me
tell
on
us.
the spot over
I'm
here.
gonna make you tell us.
I was 35 years old.
35.
Yeah.
Well, you've enjoyed 20 years that you might not have had. And there's one thing that safety is number one. When you're dealing with guns every day, you can never assume anything. And we tell people, if they're gonna leave on a hunt from camp, do not load or unload your guns in the area of camp. Wait until you're out of view of camp. And this is part of what we tell people. Point that gun down to the ground, go and put a round into the chamber, safety on, and then proceed in your hunt. But what happened to you, this guy, he should have unloaded his gun before he left his hunting area, because number one, that means he was in a vehicle with a loaded gun, all right? And he approached the camp house with a loaded gun, and then he was pointing it in an unsafe direction, and then pulled the trigger. This guy did everything wrong.
Exactly.
And for guys that are watching this video, this is why we preach gun safety so much out here, because it's a matter of life and death. Always have your gun pointed in a safe direction, which is to the ground, not your foot, but to the ground. Unload that gun and then put it away in your vehicle. Don't enter vehicles with a loaded gun. How many people have been killed, blown their legs off, shot somebody in the back of the head? The horror stories go on and on and on. And by following just a handful of safety rules, you're going to save your life, somebody else's life. Mark is a very lucky man that he survived that. He didn't know the guy. He's at a camp with a stranger, and the guy did something very foolish. So, Mark, we're glad to have you here.
Good. Glad to be here. I already killed my hog.
All right, already got a hog, and we're going to go get some more. And let's go get us some more.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.